Breeding cats and raising kittens can be an extremely rewarding experience, or it may result in frustration and failure. But it's better to have full information about this process before you start. Before breeding your cat, learn what is involved in mating, reproducing, and delivering healthy kittens. Let's take a look at how cats make babies, cat mating. Number 8. The male, the tom, and the female, the queen. Puberty in a male cat, called a tomcat, sets in at 6 to 8 months of age when he is able to fertilize a female cat. The male's reproductive life can last 14 years or more. If you want to breed your male cat, he should come from a healthy litter of good size and be born of a female cat who had no difficulties giving birth or rearing the litter. Once the breeding season begins, in general around January or February, the female, called the queen, will go into heat multiple times until the end of the breeding season in October or November. The heat cycle is greatly affected by the ratio of daylight to darkness and by temperature. In cat colonies, for example, with 14 hours of light and 10 hours of darkness, as well as constant temperatures, female cats will be in the breeding cycle year-round. The female is able to bear young as early as 7 to 9 months of age and is fertile for another 7 to 9 years. Usually after that, the cat can no longer bear kittens, although there are exceptions. Like the male, the female should come from a good-sized, healthy litter, with a mother that delivered with ease and showed regular heat cycles. A good history should be obtained and a complete physical exam performed in order to help detect genetic disorders or illness. In about 20% of females, the actual heat is preceded by a period of up to 2 days where the cat does things like rubbing herself against objects, persistent meowing, treading in place, and rolling on the floor. However, she won't let the tom mount her. In unsuspecting owners, the cat can seem to be in pain, when in fact it is just raging hormones and no pain is involved. The heat cycle in a cat lasts between 3 and 20 days, on average 5 to 8 days. The interval between the end of one heat and the beginning of the next heat lasts 3 to 14 days in general, with an average of 10 days. In other words, the female cat cycles every 12 to 20 days during breeding season. There are certain hormonal changes in the cycling queen until she mates. Estrogen is responsible for the queen's going into heat, and progesterone is necessary for pregnancy. When the estrogen concentration rises, the queen goes into heat, and when it drops, the heat ends. Until the queen is mated, the rise and fall of estrogen will continue. Number 7. The mating. Since the female is less sensitive to environmental changes when in heat, she is brought to the tom for breeding. Once the cats get together, the mating process doesn't last very long, only about half a minute to 4 minutes. First, the male bites the female's neck, mounts her, and positions himself on top of her. Then, he thrusts his pelvis into her and finally penetrates her, which usually only lasts about 4 seconds. During this last phase or shortly thereafter, the female will scream and attempt to break free by turning, rolling, or striking the male with her paw. She will have a so-called after reaction, where she'll roll or thrash and clean herself. The after reaction may last up to 9 minutes. The time intervals between matings may be as short as 5 minutes or as long as a half an hour. The female may allow up to 30 matings, and studies have shown that if only one single mating is allowed, only 50% of the queens will get pregnant. They will allow mating with various males, and this can result in a variety of different fathers for the same litter. Each kitten has only one father, and kittens within the same litter may all have different fathers. Number 6. The pregnancy. The duration of pregnancy is 64 to 69 days. The diagnosis can be made either by feeling the abdomen of the queen or by ultrasound. An experienced person will be able to feel the pregnant uterus at about day 16 of pregnancy. At this time, the uterus will feel like a string of pearls. After the 20th day of pregnancy, one can easily feel the fetuses in a relaxed queen. Ultrasound is a helpful tool in determining pregnancy and for checking the development of the heart rate of the fetuses, and it can be performed from day 26 of pregnancy until birth. Some queens will show enlargement and a pink color of her mammary glands as early as the 18th day of pregnancy. Number 5. What are the signs of estrus? It is not common to observe vaginal bleeding from a cat in heat. The most notable signs of estrus in cats are behavioral. Most cats become very affectionate, even demanding. They persistently rub against people or objects such as furniture, rubbing against their owners and furniture and constantly demanding attention. They roll on the floor. When stroked along the back or spine, they raise their rear quarters into the air and tread with the back legs. They also become very vocal. These behavior changes often become annoying to owners, and sometimes owners think their cat has some unusual illness. Queens in heat attract intact male cats. Tomcats that have never been seen before in the yard or neighborhood will appear, and may attempt to enter the house to mate with the female. Number 4. How to make mating successful. Breeding cats is different from breeding dogs. The female can be bred at any time during her active phase of her heat cycle because cats are induced ovulators. This means that the act of breeding stimulates the ovaries to release eggs. Therefore, eggs are only released from the ovaries when the sperm are deposited in the reproductive tract. To ensure that ovulation occurs, most female cats require 3 to 4 matings within a 24-hour period. All that said, it has been shown that 35 to 60% of cats in a colony may spontaneously ovulate. Once ovulation has occurred, the female cat will go out of heat within a day or two. Number 3. What should I expect during pregnancy? Pregnancy, or gestation, ranges from 64 to 71 days. Most cats deliver kittens or queen between days 63 and 65. The breeding date or dates should be recorded so that the delivery date can be predicted. A veterinary examination 3 to 4 weeks after breeding will usually confirm her pregnancy. If a pregnant cat is fed a premium brand of kitten food, no calcium, vitamin, or mineral supplements are needed. A pregnant cat should be fed a premium brand of growth and development diet or kitten food for the duration of the pregnancy and for a month after the kittens are weaned. These diets are generally available through veterinary hospitals or pet stores. Kitten diets provide all the extra nutrition needed for the mother and her litter. If the mother is eating one of these diets, no calcium, vitamin, or mineral supplements are needed. During pregnancy, the mother's food consumption will often reach 50% more than her level before pregnancy. By the end of the nursing period, it may be more than double the pre-pregnancy amount. You may need to increase the number of feedings per day to help allow her to eat enough to meet her needs and those of the kittens. Number 2. What should I do to prepare for the kitten's birth? After a successful breeding, many queens show behavioral changes. Most develop an unusually sweet and loving disposition and demand more affection and attention during pregnancy. During the latter stages of pregnancy, the expectant mother usually begins to look for a safe place for delivery. Prior to this time, a queening or birthing box should be selected and placed in a quiet place, such as a closet or a dark corner. The box should be large enough for the cat to move around freely, but have low enough sides so that she can see out and you can reach inside to give any needed assistance. The bottom of the box should be lined with several layers of newspapers or other disposable absorbent material, which will provide a private hiding place for the expectant mother and can be easily removed and disposed of after they absorb the birthing fluids. Number 1. Leaving the newborn kittens with the queen. It may be helpful to have a smaller box lined with a warm towel for the newborn kittens. A slightly damp towel can be warmed in a microwave oven. After each kitten is stable and dry, it should be placed in the incubator box while the mother is completing delivery of the other kittens. Warmth is essential, so a heating pad or towel-wrapped hot water bottle may be placed in the box, or a heat lamp may be placed nearby. If a heating pad is used, it should be placed on the lowest setting and covered with a towel to prevent overheating. Likewise, caution should be exercised when using a heat lamp, since newborn kittens may be unable to move away from the heat source. Do let us know in the comments if you have completely understood the mating process. Please subscribe to The Wiggle Paw. Thanks for watching.